Welcome to another video from explainingcomputers.com. People often ask me what are the best accessories to use with a Raspberry Pi. In this video I'm therefore going to set up a Raspberry Pi 2 with a case, a mini wireless keyboard and a Wi-Fi dongle. Right, well here we are with our Raspberry Pi 2 in all of its Raspberry Pi goodness. What a lovely little board that is. And the first thing I'm going to do is to put that into a case. And the case I've chosen is this case from Tontec. It's not a difficult unboxing, you just have to take off the actual wrapper. There we are. Good fire sound effects there. This is a two-part snap together case. I think we just, there we are, take off the top, and then it has a little grill at the back which will fit in, give a bit of ventilation, and there's a gap there to put in the SD card. There's some screws as you can see. So all we need to do is to take our Raspberry Pi, and it fits in here. I think it's got to fit the side there so we can see that's going to fit the jacks. There we are, the headphone jack and the other jacks there, HDMI jack, there we are. It fits in nice little click into place there, that's good. We must put the this on the back the right way round. I guess goes like that way up so you can access the SD card. Lots of potential to get that one wrong, but hopefully that is right. And then the case hopefully just goes back on the top there. It's always a cushion getting things lined up. Oh, it's good little clicks, and that's not quite lined up. There we are. That's hopefully in place. So I just now need to put in some screws from this little packet there. Get our screws out. There we are. Only thing I've got against this case really is that it does have self-tapping screws, which is not ideal, self-tapping into plastic. If you're someone like me who wishes to take things apart and put them back together on a very regular basis, this isn't a brilliant idea, but for all normal people, as people would say to me, that's absolutely fine. So if I just put in the screws, there we are, last one going in like that, and there we are, we have our Raspberry Pi beautifully cased up so it can be carried around in our pocket without getting into trouble. So, next thing I'm going to do is to get rid of this lot, and we're going to have a look at a nice little wireless keyboard. This is the Pi wireless keyboard. There's various versions of this out on the internet, but it's quite a standard accessory for the Raspberry Pi. So I'm going to open this thing up. I can get in here. There we are. This is quite exciting, isn't it? I've seen a lot of these, never had one myself before. Might even come out if we're really lucky. Oh, there we are, look. Oh, there's lots of things in here. What have we got? There's a little thanks for buying the Pi thing there. There's a manual. I'm sure we'll do without that. But in here we've actually got the thing itself. Lots of bags within bags. It's like Russian dolls, isn't it? But there, flick it round so you can see it properly. Here is the Pi unit. Rather a nice little thing. This is you can see it's got a full keyboard on it, but it's also got a little paddle, and it's got a touchpad. This would be a very useful thing for using the Pi as either a media player or also in things like robotics control, and I will come back to my robotics Pi projects fairly soon. If we turn the thing over, you can see there is a little thing on the top here. That, as you can see, is actually a little openy thing, that's the technical word. And this, oh, I thought that would contain the, there we are, inside here is the wireless unit, which actually plugs into the computer. So if we take this and plug it into our Pi, that'll happily fit in there. And then the next thing I'm going to fit is one of these things, a Wi-Fi adapter. This actually came from a company called the Pi Dish. We don't seem to sell them anymore, but I would recommend the one from the Pi Hut. I know that will work. Tiny little thing, and if again we just take this and plug this into our Pi, it's going to be equipped now for wireless internet and wireless keyboard operations, which is kind of nice. To work at all, our Pi will of course need a power supply. This is a USB power supply from the Pi Hut. You can use any USB power supply really, but you must make sure you've got at least 1.5 amp capacity to run things properly. And you're also going to need an SD card. I happen to use a SanDisk SD card or micro SD cards. The Pi happen to work nice. This is a 16 gig card, 8 gig would do, but given the price difference I tend to get the 16s these days. I'll put some software on that in a second, but we might as well connect up the power supply to the Pi. Can I get this the right way around first time? Probably not. Oh, I can. So we've got power to the Pi, but we also need power to our keyboard. So if we bring our keyboard back in, here's our lovely little Rai keyboard. This thing has a USB connector over here somewhere to connect in to charge the thing up. And if we go back to the box, I've discovered inside, missed this before, there is an adapter. Sadly not the same type of USB adapter on a standard USB power supply like this one for the Pi. It's the older adapter, but you can plug this in hopefully like that. I just need to plug this into anything which has got USB available to charge this thing up. But basically we're all really now raring to go, save for the fact I need some software on here. So I'm now going to put some software onto our SD card. Right, here I am on raspberrypi.org, where I'm going to go to downloads, and then I'm going to download the Raspbian operating system for the Raspberry Pi. I could use the Noobs installer, but I'm going to do it easier way to some ways this time. Go down to Raspbian. I'm going to download the zip file for Raspbian directly. So I'll click on that. It'll start to download down here. That'll take quite a while, at least at the speed of my internet connection. So we'll wait for that to complete. And when it has completed here by the magic of filmmaking, we have our file. If I go right click on that, I can extract it because it's a zip file. I'm going to stick it to C download there. That looks fine to me. Extract that. That'll take a second. And with the extraction completed, I'm going to go to a piece of software here called a Win32 Disk Imager, which can write our image to our micro SD card. Now if you're thinking, where do I get Win32 Disk Imager from? Well, if you flip on back to raspberrypi.org, where we actually downloaded Raspbian, you'll see just above there is an image installation guide. And if you then scroll down a bit on there, you will discover a link to Windows, if you're running Windows of course, and then you'll see Win32 Disk Imager is there, and there's a link to the SourceForge project page where you can download it. But I've already got it downloaded, so I can just select my file, my image file, and I need to be in C and download. Never use Windows default directories, never quite seems a good idea to me. There we are. Let's pick up our image and open. For some reason it's taken us back to another screen, lost the focus there, but there we are. Win32 Disk Imager has got the thing. All I need to do now is to click write, and that will start. Do we want to write this to our SD card, which is D on this machine? Yes, we do, and it'll start to write the image. And this also will take a while, so again I'll speed through by the magic of speeding things up. And there we are, it's complete. I wish I could press that magic fast forward button in the real world. But we've now got our SD card written, so we can get on and install it in our Raspberry Pi. Right, with Raspbian on our micro SD card, we can plug it into our Raspberry Pi. It just clicks in there, and we can also plug in an HDMI cable to connect our display. I also want to turn on the wireless keyboard. You can see it's now flashing an indicator there to indicate it's waiting to receive a signal from the computer. And so if I just turn on the Raspberry Pi, we can boot it up and start loading into Raspbian. So here we go, now booting up. This isn't actually the first boot into Raspbian for this install, it's actually the second. I have booted once already just to configure things like the display settings so that I can record the screen properly, not least that seemed quite important. Maybe I'll do a video at some point about Raspberry Pi configuration settings for the display. Anyway, we've now arrived on the Raspberry and desktop, and I hope if I try my wireless device, yes, I've got a wireless mouse working. So I've got wireless keyboard and mouse, but if I go into the menu, I can now set up the final thing we need, which is Wi-Fi. So if I go into Wi-Fi configuration and enter on that, there we are, look. Hasn't got any networks at the moment, but if I click on scan, and we'll find my network there amongst many is that one there, CJBnet. I now have to enter a password, little test of using this keyboard. Right, now if I've got that correct, hopefully I have, that all looks encouraging. Just close that down. And yes, we're now connected in theory to a Wi-Fi network. Just to prove it, if I go up to launch the Epiphany web browser, there it is, look. And if I try typing in, I don't know, well-known web address, and here we are, we've arrived on the world's favourite website, and in the process we've proved we've got the Wi-Fi dongle running properly on our Raspberry Pi. Properly equipped, a Raspberry Pi can make a great lean-back computer. In my next video, I'm therefore going to install on it the Open Source Media Center, or OSMC. But now that's it for this time, and I hope to talk to you again very soon.